Hi, welcome to the Canadian City and Southern Railroad. Today's video is behind schedule because my layout is behind schedule. I had planned to have some more track work done and the turntable installed and everything hooked up and talk about some track work. But that's not ready yet. This end of the yard over in here is all up and running. I tried several different ways to get power to the frogs, and I'm now using some frog juicer duos. But I'm thinking about maybe even still changing that. Over in here, I've got some more track work down, but it's not all wired up yet. And the turntable area is yet to be installed. So I'll get to that in another video. You can see some of the many little tools and gizmos that I've been using to lay my track. I've got some used micro spikes from Micro Engineering. And as I go through them, I pull out the ones that are still usable, and I pull out the ones that are too bent up from the old layout to use. And then I sort out some of my small spikes that got mixed in with them. This is my camera car. It's made out of balsa wood and it's my lightest car. So it makes a very good test car because it tends to come off the rail without the weight of the camera quite easily, and lets me know when things aren't quite right. I've been printing my own throw rods, and it turned out that it took about 10 different tries to get all the measurements just right so that it would grip the rails tight enough, but not too tight, for them to pivot easily. I've tried several different ways to make mounts for my servos to throw my turnouts, switches, and I'm still not quite satisfied with that. I think I'm going to go to a way where the servos are mounted horizontal so that the throw rods don't go up and down as much when they go back and forth, the linkages. I'll talk more about how I do my track work and wiring and stuff like that when it gets to that stage. So, let's visit my brother Stuart's little N-gauge railroad that lives in our family room. This little railroad represents somewhere in Pennsylvania on the Pennsylvania Railroad in the late 1950s. Years ago, when in a big box store, we noticed that they had a little bit of N-scale equipment. So my brother really liked that little Pennsy F unit. So we picked it up, and for many years it ran as a display engine in a local train store. It's now worn out. It's run so much that it actually wore out the phosphor bronze wipers. I'll have to make some new ones. Fortunately, I was able to find a replacement that was almost never run, and I picked it up after all these years. This end of the layout is the forested end of the layout. The little trestle is scratch built out of scale lumber. The layout is a loop of Cato Unitrack. With a pair of Paco switches to a small yard. This end of the layout is the farm scene. The barn is 100% scratch built with real cedar individually cut shingles and scratch built doors and windows and individual stones in the foundation, which is so common for barns in western Pennsylvania. The farmhouse is also scratch built with individual stones built up one course at a time, just like on a real building, with Tichy train group end scale windows and doors. The shingles are fine paper, cut out and painted and applied one at a time to represent the so common slate shingles. The layout is regular DC, no sound, but we find that the sound of the engine and the natural clickety-clack of the cars makes for a very good sound background. Peaceful.